Last year I was on the campus of Yale. I love speaking at Ivy League schools, by the way. I really do. And part of this because these are bright students, but they think they're even brighter than they are. But they always feel like, well, this dumb, conservative Christian hick is going to come. Can't wait to eat him alive. I'm always thinking, knock yourself out, kids, you know. But what I love is that they always think they're going to ask me the question I've never been asked before. Like, whoa, never thought of that one. Didn't see that one coming. It's part of the joy of the whole experience. It is. And it's always interesting. The people on the campuses are so afraid that I'm going to get, overwhelmed by the students. I went to Cornell to speak, and my host had picked me up at the airport. They were driving to the campus. There were about 100 kids protesting my being there. All in the name of tolerance and diversity, of course. So they're standing out on the sidewalk yelling and screaming, holding up signs, and none of them were very nice. None of them said welcome. And as we were driving, my host said, now we're going to hurry on by. You don't have to deal with these people. We've told them they have to stay on the other side of the street on that sidewalk over there. So we'll hurry past. Don't look at them. And I said, no. Why don't you stop the car? I'd like to go talk to him. And they said, no, you don't do that. I said, of course I do. They said, but they're here to protest you. I said, I'm quite aware of that. I can read. You might be surprised, but Arkansas's education system isn't that bad. By the way, Beth Moore grew up in Arkansas. There you go. So they were horrified. I said, stop the car, I'm going to get out. And I got out of the car, and I went over to them. And, of course, they were as shocked as my hosts were. And I walked over to them, and smile on my face. I said, I just wanted to come over and thank you for being here. And that startled them, and they looked at each other, and I said, I'm serious. I'm grateful you're here. Thank you for being here. I said, because your presence here today and you're standing here screaming about my being here is a wonderful reminder of why I love this country. I said, because you know what? In a lot of countries of the world, if you stood on a college campus yelling at a person who was invited to speak, why, you'd be in jail. And nobody's going to lock you guys up for screaming. Nobody's mad at you for this. And I said, I know you don't agree with what I stand for. I get that. And frankly, I don't agree with probably a lot of what you stand for. But I'm glad you can stand for it in a country that lets you do it, and I hope that you'll always feel the freedom to do it. I just hope that you would understand what you believe, know why you believe it, and that you could follow your beliefs to their logical conclusion and live with the consequences. If you can do that, then you and I have no argument. Now, when I was on the campus of Yale, I want to get back to that, came time for the question and answer, and of course, it's always the first question, and sometimes it's the second, third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth questions when I'm on a campus. And a student stood up and said, I just want to know that your position on marriage, how in the world do you get to decide what other people do? And besides, how does it hurt your marriage if two people who love each other want to be married too, even if they're of the same gender? I said, that's a very reasonable question. Truth is, as far as does it hurt my marriage personally? No. I don't think my wife and I are going to, go see a lawyer and get a divorce because somebody of the same gender got married and say, well, that does it for us. That's the end of it. So no, it's not going to affect the way we live or the way we think or the way we believe. So that's not the point. I said, I think you're missing something. The problem is deeper. You're talking about a symptom. The issue is, what is the purpose of marriage? I said, I know that you probably think it's because it's to be happy. I said, no, that's your problem. There's your problem. You think that the purpose of marriage is for two people to be attracted to each other in some erotic way, and that they're to love each other, but for you, love is that extraordinary emotional sentimentality that you have called love. And I said, I understand where that comes from, but my friend, the problem that you and I have and the difference of opinion is not about what kind of marriage. It's deeper than that. It's what does marriage really mean? And if we understand things from a biblical worldview, which you don't have to do, but the fact is, marriage is not about me. It's not even just about me and the person to whom I'm married. Marriage is not a covenant between just two people. It is a covenant between two people and a holy God. And the purpose of marriage is not just so that we can have this incredibly cordial relationship that might have some tax consequences and some beneficiary relationships and life insurance, but the basic purpose of marriage is so that we can reflect how God relates to those of us here on this earth. It is a picture of His relationship with those that He has called to Himself as His bride. I said, I don't expect you to understand that. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to embrace it. But please don't ask me to abandon it, because it's not my definition to abandon. I don't have the option of concluding to some other purpose, because I don't understand that marriage is all about me. It's about glory to God.